going on, guys, and welcome back to JB Lion videos here. Sorry I've been gone a little while. Sorry I didn't really commentate over the last Inter game. So the last Inter game was a 3-0, well, the first. So we've had 3 games in the space I've been away, across Inter and Chelsea. Obviously Chelsea have had 1 game and Inter have had 2. So one of the Inter games is tonight that I've watched, and the Chelsea one I watched, but I didn't watch the Inter versus Florence 3-0. I heard it wasn't very good. I didn't make a video on it because I didn't want to make a video on something I hadn't watched, so I couldn't give my actual opinion. Obviously you can watch highlights, but highlights don't actually show the true story. All I know is that apparently Fiorentina were just better tactically than us, which isn't good because obviously I wanted us to win that. But fortunately, whilst we're on Inter, Napoli fell yesterday. Well, they didn't fall, but they drew yesterday, which was a massive, massive thing for Inter because we had Fiorentina again tonight, and we won 2-1, which was absolutely crazy. Like I said, Fiorentina absolutely outclassed us in the first game, as far as I'm aware. Like I said, I didn't watch the game, so I won't give too much my opinion because I didn't watch it. But as far as I'm aware, they absolutely outclassed us. But tonight, Inter were turned on. They looked ready for the fight. Obviously, being at the San Siro, it gives them like the extra juice. I don't know why. They seem to just turn up more when they're at San Siro. Obviously, being at home and the home crowd. But they looked absolutely bang on it tonight. Lautaro was bang on it, and all the players were on it. Obviously, it was only 2-1, which was lucky. Obviously, Lautaro technically scored the first goal, but it didn't count for him. And then obviously they got a penalty, which was then converted, which was a very good penalty. I don't think the best goalkeeper in the world would have saved that. Obviously it was 1-1, and I was thinking, oh, it's going to pit her out. Obviously I saw Marcus Thuram go off injured, and I was instantly worried because I thought it's either Taremi coming on or it's Arnautovic. And both of them, they're good strikers, but they're not as good as Marcus Thuram. But big old Arnie came on. I was a bit worried because, like I said, he hasn't been on the best form lately. He hasn't scored all season. And then bang, he pops up with a goal. So massive kudos to big old Arnie there because he came on and proved a few people wrong. But obviously lately we've been playing pretty well, I guess. It was a big win tonight because obviously it puts us now a point behind behind Napoli as I'm speaking to you. So massive win tonight. If I do believe that Inter are going to win the Scudetto again, but massive win tonight for us to be able to push on and actually go ahead and win it. I think our next game, obviously I'm using FootMob as I always do. I think our next game against is Juventus, which is another huge game. I think that's going to be just as tough as the Fiorentina one. Obviously, Fiorentina are a bit more in form than Juventus, but it's still going to be a tough game, especially away from home. It's going to be a tough ask, but we do need to win it. If we have any aspirations of actually winning the Scudetto, we have to win it. Napoli's next game is against Lazio, which is a hard game for them also. But yeah, we have to beat Juventus. If we want to go for this, we have to beat Juventus. Obviously, we have to hope that the results go away with Lazio, but Juventus, we have to be beating them. But overall, it was a decent game tonight. Played really well. Looked actually at the races rather than from what I heard in the other game. We actually looked at the races tonight. There was a few moments that, squeaky bum time and all that business, but they smashed it tonight. But now let's move on to the next sad news, which is the Chelsea game against Brighton. I did watch it. It was a tough one, really. I don't know what is going on with us lately, Chelsea-wise, but we're just not at it at the moment. You think about it, Brighton played probably better and they probably deserved it, as they had very good possession. They was just much stronger than us. And then, we went 1-0 up, which was like, oh, yes, an own goal, 5 minutes in, lovely stuff. But as I always say, charity Chelsea, that's what we are. We go 1-0 up, and then we go, nah, boys, here you go. Have the win. We don't care. Charity Chelsea again came out. We just didn't push on as much as we should. And Brighton just sort of took advantage of that and just put us basically to the sword pretty much. But yeah, we just didn't put enough chances in as usual, and yeah, we probably deserve to lose. Obviously, I don't really know what's happening with us. We just can't seem to put a win together, or we can't seem to go on a winning streak at the moment where we're actually, you know, we win one game and we're like, yes, this should give us the confidence to push on, and then we go and lose. It just doesn't make sense. I don't know how we can go on and win one game, you know, like any normal team would then push on and get like 2 or 3 wins. I'm not saying you go unbeaten for the rest of the season, but we can't. I don't know. It has just been hard work, and obviously at the moment, having a look at the bench, you know, just looking at the bench for this game, you know, we started with Nkunku up top, which is already a sad sight to see. And then you have a look at the bench, it is just honestly not good enough. Who are we supposed to bring on that's going to be attacking? Our bench was Fernandes, Madueke, George, Jurgensen, and then loads of youngsters and Cowell. Who's going to come on and bang us a goal in? Because we've already got Nkunku on, which is not really an out-and-out striker. He's a good striker, of course, but he's not out-and-out. You know, and then got Jackson who's injured. Now what we're going to do? I said this. In the transfer window, we have to buy a striker. Even if it isn't a prolific striker, we just need somebody else because we have no one. We sold João Felix, who scored for AC Milan on his debut, and we've just got Nkunku and Jackson. Jackson's injured with a thigh injury for God knows how long. Who else have we got? No one. Nkunku, great. And Gayu, who's the other striker who's just as good, is also injured. So now we've got no strikers. So it goes from bad to worse for us, really. Get knocked out of the bloody FA Cup so early on, when in reality, if you look at the FA Cup now, there were some big shocks. You know, had Liverpool knocked out, Arsenal knocked out early on. Now Arsenal have been knocked out. United and Man City final. If they play their cards right, it should be a United-Man City final. But obviously, saying that, teams like Aston Villa, Nottingham Forest are all performing, so could be anyone's FA Cup, but obviously it's just massively disappointing for us because we should be going further in that competition. But yeah, it's not been a great week at all for me supporting teams. Obviously it was good tonight because Inter won, but it was a scrappy win, and then Chelsea lost, and then Inter lost. It was just a bad week for football. But yeah, I thought I'd give you guys a video. Sorry it's late out, I hadn't got around to doing it, and I didn't want to like release a video if I didn't actually watch the game. That's what I kind of like to do, is to make sure my analysis is something that I've actually watched rather than just watched the highlights and gone, yeah, I watched the game, when I actually didn't. So yeah, so we've got some, obviously our next games. There's Champions League all this week. Inter aren't playing Champions League this week, it's already through. And then Chelsea got Brighton again on Friday in the Premier League. Obviously, I won't be releasing a video on that Friday because it is Valentine's Day. So the day I will release a video, I'll probably do another one, which I've done today, which is the conjoint of Inter and Chelsea, all in one video again, because Inter play on Sunday. But yeah, I'll keep you guys updated anyway with what I'm doing. But as I always say, thanks so much for everyone watching. Thank you for all the love on the videos lately with the likes and the comments. I really do appreciate them, and it makes me actually want to, you know, do this content. Obviously, I was a bit worried about coming back into YouTube and doing football stuff because I didn't know if people would enjoy it, but everyone's loving it. So I'm very happy. So thank you to everyone who's watching. I've been JB Lion, and I'll see you dudes, dudettes, and everyone else in the next videos. Ciao, bye.